What's up, fam? Pigskin's Dynasty is back.
What did you, Pisky Dynasty?
Pigskin. Our 2 weeks hiatus is over. Our apologies for not posting. Had a little family gathering that Scott and I went to, but we're back from our vacation, ready to talk week 6 fantasy football. You know who I am. I'm Matt Phillips. I'm your co-host of Pigskin Dynasty. Alongside me is the fantasy leprechaun, Scott Euler. What's up, Scott?
What's up, Matt?
How you doing?
Doing good. We, I got something to take care of. It's very important. I think it could turn the tides for this player. So.
Oh, I know what's going on.
So we're gonna go ahead. We're gonna go ahead and Philippe. We're gonna have to unhook the mic to do this. It's bad for radio, good for television.
He's gonna hang my jersey. This mother effer. Don't hurt yourself. Jesus Christ.
Adios, Philippe. He's no longer on my team. He no longer belongs on the wall.
Can I have that jersey?
Nope.
Derrick Henry's not gonna do shit.
Derrick Henry. He wasn't doing crap before, but you know what? He's on the wall, so he's gonna have to live up to it now. That's what's about to happen.
Hey guys, yeah, this is nice. Yeah, I'm touching Scott so he doesn't fall, not because I'm weird. All right, this is fun. Okay, Scott.
Look at that. There we go.
All right, cool.
It's done.
All right, I'm glad that's
Derrick Henry turns it around here on out.
Just like Cordero Patterson.
Cordero Patterson's been done well too.
Finally, after 5 years of you're on his bandwagon.
Suppose they probably could have worn better pants for that. But there we are.
All right, so
you guys, you're welcome.
You heard it first, guys. Derrick Henry's going to explode now because Scott Euler has it on his team.
No, not on my team. On the wall. He's been on my team for 2 weeks, hasn't done crap. But he just got on the wall.
So I'm curious, what makes your justification of the wall? Let's see. Gronkowski hasn't done anything.
He's on my team. They're on my team.
But he's on the wall, though.
Yeah, he's on the wall.
Your basis was him being on the wall. He's going to do something now.
Yeah,
but Gronkowski hasn't done shit.
That's why he's down on that side.
Oh, so it has to be in the middle. It has to be in the middle.
I guess in that case, I should flip Gurley and he has to be on the top. We'll just say the top.
Whatever, man.
Doesn't matter.
Whatever.
Something happened. Things are going to change for Derrick Henry.
With my luck, since I trade him, he's going to start giving the ball more often. That's when it seems like. But they play against the Ravens, so they have a really tough run defense. I don't think he's going to do anything this week.
Yeah, I wouldn't expect it either. But tides have been changed.
By the way, guys, so we're going to do a little bit different episode this week. Now, normally we would do our start sets, do our rankings and everything like that. Scott does have his rankings there, so if you guys want to have a question about the rankings, Scott will answer those questions. We're going to go a little bit in-depth in each game today. We're going to talk about the game itself, the fantasy matchups of players that we like, maybe some sleeper picks, maybe some bust potentials for those games. Go from there. And we're also going to go over some injury concerns. Just like recently, I just got the message right now that Greg Olsen is going to play. He's coming back. Does he get a full complement of snaps? We don't know. But he is playing, which is something that if you have him, in the tight end position specifically where it's so hard to find a decent tight end play, you may have to resort to playing Greg Olsen. But before we go to that, Scott, let's start the show like we always start the show with What The? So, you want me to go first?
Yeah, you go first.
Okay. So my what the for this week, guys, is Allen Hurns. Allen Hurns, shut the hell up. You were trash. I can't stand you, Allen Hurns. You're stupid. You have the audacity to call out Dak Prescott, the quarterback of the Dallas Cowboys, your teammate. You're going to call him out saying he's not playing good. Hey, I'm a Cowboys fan. Dak Prescott is playing like shit. That's the third time they said shit this episode. She's playing horrible. Okay, but you're his teammates, and you're trash yourself. It's one thing if you were like let's say Antonio Brown or DeAndre Hopkins, like you're the number one receiver, and you're playing like a number one receiver, right? It's one thing to call out a quarterback if you were like the leader of the team. But you have 8 catches for 84 yards and only 1 single touchdown in this season.
That's Dak's fault. That's Dak's fault.
Yeah, I don't care if it's Dak's fault, whatever. Okay? What you said was maybe true. Like, he threw the ball when he wasn't supposed to, but you're not supposed to call out your team like that, especially when you're not good at yourself. Okay? So, Alan Hearn, so shut up. Just do your job. You're supposed to replace Dez, and you haven't done that. So, and besides this point, I don't like you. I think you're trash. I don't think they shared every gotten you, the Cowboys. But whatever. What the?
Well, Cole Beasley called him out the week before.
Cole Beasley, shut up and stick to music.
I was going to say, is it a white thing? You didn't say nothing to Cole Beasley because he's white?
Yes.
Oh, my God.
This is America.
Oh, my gosh.
Cole Beasley wasn't supposed to be the number 1 receiver. Alan Hearn was there to replace my quote-unquote Jerry, was to replace Dez. Comes out of preseason, week 1, like preseason, he's the guy. He's going to be the number 1 guy.
Well, you know what? He is replacing Dez. He's causing problems in the locker room. He's speaking out just like Dez would.
At least Dez does stuff.
All right, guys. So I gotta get into my what the, and I wore the jersey in representation of my what the. And this is on Mike McCoy. You have the best outside runner in football, probably the best receiving running back in football, but we're going to use him primarily as between the tackles, grind it out in between the tackles, tough runner. We're not going to get him on the edge. We're not going to put him out in space. We're just going to run him up into the muddy middle. What are you doing? Why would you treat David Johnson like that? You can't be more creative. We're just going to stuff the running back up the middle. Like, line him at receiver, get him on pitches, get him outside, get him in space. He's clearly one of the best spaced running backs in the league, and you're sitting here running him up the middle. What the?
Cardinals, you're trash.
Oh, Mike McCoy's trash.
Not McCoy's trash. Everyone's trash. I'm in a trashy mood right now. Everyone's trash.
You've been hanging around the...
Flag on the play. FOTP, by the way. By the way, if you haven't seen Flag on the Play, Teal Tuesdays at 6 p.m. Anthony Rogers and Balot, they're cool people. But besides the point, Scott,
Matt,
let's kick off the show.
Okay.
Let's talk about...
Oh.
I'm sorry.
Hang on.
What?
There was something I wanted to do that was going to be playing sad music. Oh. You know what? Cue up the sad music. Sad music. I don't want you. Silence. Let the drop play.
The theme song music again? Okay.
No, I don't know. I'm trusting my production people to put some sad music in. It's a sad day on Pigskin Dynasty, guys. It's a really sad day on Pigskin Dynasty. This is the first week I've had to re-wear a jersey on the pod.
You should be ashamed of yourself.
Such a sad day, guys.
You're actually crying, too. Holy crap. Wow, you should be ashamed of yourself. What kind of player... Yeah, coming from me, I'm wearing a white shirt that says "I love you" on it. Trash.
Was that made for you, or did you buy that?
My beautiful girlfriend made it.
She made it.
Yeah.
She designed it and everything.
Yeah, it was actually supposed to be the birthday gift. You're supposed to all come to the house, and she got individual white shirts for you guys to design.
Oh, what happened?
You guys never came over to the house.
Why not?
You guys wanted to go home. It's too late. You guys said.
Oh, what did we do for your birthday? Oh, that's right. We went to Dave & Buster's and you got mad because she lost your car.
Oh, I got so mad. Dude, guys, it had like 50,000 tickets on it, man. You'd be mad too if you had 50,000 tickets on. Do you know how hard I worked on that? A long time to get 50,000 tickets. And do you know what I can buy?
No, you know what? The worst part about him having 50,000 tickets is he never spent them as a freaking kid. He saved them like a weird kid. And
what?
Now he's a 26-year-old adult upset about his $50,000 tickets.
Hey, I can practically buy a new gaming system. When the new PS5 comes out, I can probably buy that with Dave & Buster tickets.
What about the Xbox 2?
I don't want the stupid Xbox. No, Sony all the way. Boom. They got Venom, by the way, which is not a good movie. But besides the point. Okay, let's talk about fantasy football. It's a fantasy football show. Let's talk about fantasy football. Okay, Scott, let's talk about the matchups first. You want to go over injuries? Actually, no, let's
go over the injuries as we're going through the matchups.
All right, let's do it. What's the first matchup?
Tampa Bay, Atlanta.
It's Tampa Bay.
Bye-bye, adios, Devonta Freeman. He just hasn't been around all year.
Yeah.
If you're in Dynasty...
Redraft, you start Tevin Coleman.
Maybe you can try and go get...
DraftKings Tevin Coleman's like $5,000. You start Tevin Coleman, save that money, get a stud receiver for DraftKings. That's what I did, and this week... Tevin Coleman's going to explode. This game is probably one of the higher over-under games out there. I think it's going to be like a 35, 38, maybe up in the 40s maybe. It's going to be like a Pittsburgh Steelers, Kansas City type game. You know, that game's going to be really exciting. So that being said, you start Matt Ryan. Obviously you're going to start Julio Jones. I think Mohamed Sanu is a sneaky start in this game. I think he's underappreciated, especially with Calvin Ridley, what he's doing. I think he's a sneaky start, especially in daily. He's very cheap as well. And then my start of the week, I said it on the article on Big Cat Country with Brian Fulford, is Jameis Winston. He's my start of the week for the quarterback position. He's coming back his first week as a starting quarterback. He's having the whole practice of being a starting quarterback.
And coming off the bye.
Coming off the bye, too, so he's fresh. I think that he's going to build that rapport with them, and I think he's going to eat. I think he's going to get 4 touchdowns, maybe even 5 touchdown games. It's going to be that type of game for Jameis Winston, and it's going to be a shootout. So starting Jameis Winston, if you have him, start him.
If I had a drop board here, I would have interrupted you and played a little Irish jig or something. Because we're coming on with the Fancy Leprechauns Pot of Gold Glory Play of the Week right here.
By the way, I just want to point out, you're not doing a very good job this year.
Hey, I'm 1-2. 1-3, something like that.
No,
you know what? I called Traquan Smith a couple weeks ago, and what happens last week? He goes off.
Yeah. No, so let's recap. First week was
Bruce Ellington.
Okay. Second week, Traquan Smith, not hit. Third week, who was the third week? I don't even remember the third week, but it wasn't hit.
Dante Pettis. I think Dante Pettis and Traquan.
Yeah, it was Dante Pettis, and he had like one catch for like
and then we
yards.
missed the last 2 weeks.
Yeah, so
1-2, but I'm telling you, we're going to hit this week with the Fancy Leprechauns Pot of Gold Glory Play of the Week. Atlanta running back Ito Smith finds the end zone. He's gonna get enough work. I'm guessing 10 to 12 touches between rushing and catching, and he'll find the end zone for you. Glory Play of the Week this week. Ito Smith.
Plus, he has a cool name, Ito. Ito Smith. I like that pick a lot. Ito Smith. I kind of see Ito Smith kind of like the Chris Ivory to LaShawn McCoy. You know, he's going to get that vulture touchdown probably. He's going to get those like red zone touches. Like Freeman's going to do all the way. If Coleman gets a touchdown, it's going to be like a 30, 40, 50-yard touchdown. I don't see him going to be used in the red zone as much. It seems like Ito Smith's like the bigger back, the more red zone type back that they look at. But I like that pick a lot. I think that's for sure good pick. I think you're going to get back to 2-3. I think you can get back in the win.
2-2 with 500.
Whatever.
But also, Jameis Winston, just to add on to your sentiment with him, I had a lineup decision between Winston, Luck, and Russell Wilson, and I'm playing Winston this week, rolling him out there.
Winston's a good matchup, especially with Russell Wilson. Okay, look, they're traveling to London. Scott makes a really good statistic before the show. London games are typically low scoring, unless you're the Jaguars, because they're used to the London game. But it's typically low scoring. That traveling is a concern. The time zone changes is a factor. And plus with Seattle, they're running the ball a lot. Russell Wilson's only throwing the ball 23 times. Just put that perspective. Last year, he averaged about 34 times a game. So like 11 different pass attempts. So, I mean, it seems like they're running the ball with Mike Davis and Chris Carson a lot more, and they're doing a really good job. They're both becoming really good backs. So I just don't see Russell Wilson throwing the ball anymore. And then, who's the other guy?
Can we get back to a what the segment real fast?
What the? Reverse it. Do it.
Yeah, reverse it. We're going to what the. Pete Carroll, the front office there in Seattle. You guys spent a first-round pick on Rashad Penny, and he's your running back 3.
Yeah.
Chris Carson, Mike Davis look significantly better. Was that really a position of need to go address in the first round? What the?
Yeah.
But, let's roll in. I think we're done with Tampa Bay, Atlanta, right?
Yeah.
Start them, everybody got to start them.
Even Cameron Brate. Okay, O.J. Howard is playing, guys. I forgot to mention. O.J. Howard is playing. I'm sorry to interrupt. But I think Cameron Brate has a way better upside. I don't think Howard's going to get the full complement of snaps coming off it. Coming
off the injury, plus Jameis Winston seems to have a nice
rapport with Cameron Brate.
So
start Cameron Brate, too. I think it'd be a nice flyer.
But the next team we'll talk about, since we brought it up, Seattle, Oakland. There are 2 West Coast teams, Washington, California, Oakland, Seattle, going to London for a 1 o'clock kick in London, which is...
No. It's 1 o'clock here.
1 o'clock kick here in London. It's like a night game in London.
Night game in London.
But still, they're West Coast time, so their bodies are used to that being a 10 o'clock in the morning time frame. So
usually
it's just going to be weird.
It usually takes your body about
usually
3 or 4 days.
They come out pretty slow, low-scoring games over there in London. I don't know the weather conditions over there.
I don't know. Well, let me talk about Okay, look.
Give it a check to see.
Here's my bold.
Times they get a lot of rain there too.
Here's my glory. I'm having a glory pick. Okay, Matt Phillips, the host with the most, Glory pick.
From coast to coast? Are you going to do the coast to coast?
From coast to coast.
But this is in London, so now you got to go
coast to coast to other coast.
Okay.
Okay. Marshawn Lynch. Planning to get to his former team for the first time. This man's going to break out. Okay, look. I don't think they're going to throw the ball much because, there's going to be trouble. Derek Carr has been inconsistent. Which Derek Carr are you going to get? I think they're going to run the ball, and I think Marshawn Lynch is going to feast. I think he's a shoo-in to get 85 total yards, 2 touchdowns. That's my bold prediction for that. That's my glory pick of the week. I don't have a fancy nickname like him, but that's my glory pick of the week. Marshawn Lynch, breaking out against his former team.
I believe his ownership percentage is probably a little too high for a glory play, but that could be your start of the week.
No, whatever. But look.
Glory start of the week.
Whatever, fine. Glory start of the week.
Fair enough. But yeah, going in, if this game was playing in California or, Washington, I'd be more excited for it. But all right, I'd expect a high-scoring game coming out here. But because it's in London, I typically like to stay away from the London games if I can. Only play what you have to. I do like the Marshawn Lynch call. Usually it's muddy, the field's muddy, it's rainy. So usually they rely on the running game more over there in London. So I think Marshawn Lynch, he could have a nice game. Seattle's defense hasn't been the Elysian of Boom Seattle defense of old.
Especially their worst now with the Earl Thomas being gone.
So I agree. I think Marshawn Lynch could be in for a nice game. Tyler Lockett would be the receiver for Seattle. I'd like to play. Still weary on Doug Baldwin. He hasn't done much. He's come back. He's healthy again, but still is not producing on the field. So Lockett's my favorite receiver there. And then that backfield in Seattle, they're both playing well, but I feel like it could be a every other game situation where Davis could be the guy one week and Carson could be the guy the next week.
And
that could be a headache.
The big thing, speaking with the receivers, the big thing is I'm not entirely confident in any of the receivers in Seattle. Just look, if they're not throwing the ball as much anymore, Russell Wilson's not throwing the ball like he would throw the ball
Lockett's been pretty consistent. He's had a pretty nice season so far.
Yeah, I mean, he's getting touchdowns, but with Doug Baldwin was a decoy last week, obviously. He was a decoy. The Rams kind of focused on him. He only had one catch, like 1 yard. I won't be surprised that they kind of work in Doug Baldwin. He is the top guy in that team. But that being said, I have Doug Baldwin. I'm benching him. I want to see how that's doing. How they're going to do. Plus, it's the London game that kind of worries me. So I am benching Doug Baldwin. But thinking of the running backs, they're all playing good. I mean, you can start both of them. Mike Davis starting in a 12-team league, that's kind of like scary, but he's been performing as a compliment running back, so why not, Why not?
If you're out Ingram and Kamara, roll them in, see what you can do. Mm-hmm. Also, one thing we forgot, we should be picking these games as we're going through. So Tampa Bay, Atlanta, who you got?
Oh, let me look it up, then I got to write it down.
All right.
I'm sorry, 1 sec. Looking thing, yeah. Okay, so I have Tampa Bay and Atlanta is going to be Atlanta.
Atlanta, all right.
And then Oakland, Seattle, I have Seattle.
Too. Oakland, Seattle. Yeah, I picked Seattle. Okay, so we're on the same teams there. We're both rolling with Oakland. We're both rolling with Seattle. I'm sorry, we're both rolling with Seattle. We're both rolling with Atlanta. Going into the next game, we got Pittsburgh Steelers and Cincinnati Bengals. Mixon's there. He's going to be healthy. Have no concerns about him. Get him in your lineups. Play him. He's over that knee injury. He had a nice week last week, so I continue playing him without any concern. Is Giovanni Bernard playing?
I don't think there's questionable. He's out.
Questionable he's out?
He's out, yeah.
Okay. So even better news there for Joe Mixon.
If his body can handle it, he's going to have a good game.
But I think the underrated and the big name here is Tyler Boyd, because you got Eifert. He broke his ankle. He's out for the season. He's on the IR. And now you got John Ross. He's been ruled out for this game. So now the number 2 there, Tyler Boyd, AJ Green, Tyler Boyd, they're going to be relying on him. He's going to get plenty of targets, plenty of looks in this game. And he's been, lights out for the first quarter of the season. So I expect him to have a nice game here, especially with this game. I'm projecting to be pretty high scoring.
It's probably one of the higher over-unders.
And also expect the running backs to get some work, too, in the passing game.
Can I have another sneaky play in daily?
Uzoma. Yeah.
Uzoma. I'm actually picked him in one of my daily leagues. Look, I think he can get a touchdown. Like, the game's going to be high scoring. I think Andy Dalton's going to have like one of those Andy Dalton games. He's got like 3-4 touchdown performance. I like it. Thinking about the Steelers, you're going to start all your studs. James Conner, you're going to start Ben Roethlisberger, you're going to start Antonio Brown, you start Juju Smith-Schuster. I do like Jesse James a lot in this game, though. Jesse James, Vance McDonald, which one? But the Jesse James seems to be like the one that's the better rapport with Big Ben. I think he can easily get a touchdown in this game, like maybe a 1-2 yard touchdown that kind of make his fantasy day, especially in daily. So I do like Jesse James a lot. Plus, his name's pretty cool too. Sounds like a biker, Jesse James. But I do have the Steelers win that game.
It does sound like a Sons of Anarchy character, don't it?
Yeah, it doesn't it, right? All right, Jesse James.
Yeah, no, I agree. I like both tight ends. I think Vance McDonald physically has a little bit more upside, so I prefer him. But Jesse James kind of has that connection with Big Ben. So either way, and it kind of goes both ways with the tight ends there. AB, Juju, they've both been top 10 quarterbacks this week, or wide receivers for this season.
Yeah,
expect that trend to continue.
Go USC, baby! Thank you, Juju. Finally showing USC some love.
Finally.
Yeah.
And then James Conner, he's been Le'Veon light in this offense in his role, receiving, rushing. He's looked great. Le'Veon's supposed to be coming back during their bye next week.
Can we talk about Le'Veon?
Yeah, what are you doing with Le'Veon?
What are you doing with Le'Veon? Okay.
I want him. I'm going to acquire him.
Do you think Le'Veon's going to be Le'Veon if he goes to another team? Like, what teams do you like Le'Veon at? Let's say Indianapolis Colts.
Indy.
Indianapolis Colts.
Houston. Yeah, there's been some talk with Houston.
So, here's the problem with Le'Veon Bell, right? He's going to want that. So, you got to look at teams that have the salary cap that fit him in the contract that he wants, okay? That's going to be the concern. Who's going to pay up? And you're going to risk, because he has to return by week, 10 or 11, unless he's going to lose
10.
that season.
It's either before or during week 10.
So, reports say he's going to come back week 7.
During the bye week.
If I'm him, I wait till week 10. What's a couple extra $1 million if you're trying to get that big contract? Like, you got to save your body. One knee injury, you're done. You already tore your knee up once.
Well, maybe he's actually thinking of the team, where if he comes in during the bye week, that gives him extra time to get him acclimated into the team.
I was thinking about the team. You would have seen it a long time ago. Sheesh.
Hey.
You think he's automatically a team person now? Please. No way. But if you have Le'Veon Bell in fantasy, sell high if you can. If not...
When he returns, wait for him to return. You're not going to be able to sell high right now.
Wait till he returns and blows up. Okay?
Yeah.
Bulls up.
But what I think is going to happen, if he does come back, the Steelers never trade him. He's there. I think they're not going to sit James Conner. He's shown he's shown too good to be riding on the bench. So I think they're going to be mixed in quite a bit, so that neither one can really get into the flow of the game, and it's going to hurt them both. That's what I'm expecting.
One thing about Le'Veon Bell that James Conner doesn't do. Le'Veon Bell lines up in like a receiver position, so he's a really good receiver. So I don't know if that's going to hurt Le'Veon Bell as much as James Conner.
Well, you're not going to play Le'Veon at wide receiver.
Yeah, but no, I'm saying Le'Veon plays a lot in the wide receiver spot. He was caught 80 passes. He was like the second leading receiver on that team last year. So you don't see James Conner do that. So I don't think that's going to really hurt Le'Veon Bell as much. Yes, he might get less rushing attempts, but I think his catching ability will still be there. So,
well, yeah, his catching ability. I just mean from a rushing standpoint.
Of course,
getting acclimated to the offensive line, not getting into the flow of the game.
Plus, you also got to bring out too, social media. The offensive line calls him out. He calls him now. Do you think offensive line wants to block for him? Maybe they're not going to block for him. You don't know. Maybe they want James Conner to be there. So it's a lot of factors in there. I don't think he comes back next week. I think he comes back week 10. Now he says, I'm coming back week 10. And what's changing now? What's changing? Wait, you're broke now, Le'Veon? You need the money or something? What's going on? You were on your jet ski a couple of weeks ago, having fun.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. But we'll see about Le'Veon. No, he's one of those once-in-a-generation type backs. That is he's a beast. So in fantasy, you definitely want him. So what's the next matchup, Scott?
Who are you picking?
Steelers win that game.
Yeah, Pittsburgh for me too.
Yeah.
All right. So next game here, the LA Chargers take on the Cleveland Browns in Cleveland. This is a grudge match from a few years ago where the Browns went 1-15. They beat their only win, beating the Chargers.
Fun fact, the Browns are really good at home. Really good at home, especially against opposing quarterbacks. They only average about 9. They only give about 9 fantasy points per game to opposing quarterbacks. Obviously, the outlier is Big Ben, but that was an ugly game anyways. But they're really good at home against the defense, so we'll see. That's going to be an interesting game. So, obviously, Phillip Rivers, if you have him, you're going to start him probably, but temper your expectations. It's going to be one of those games where he's probably going to throw a couple picks. He might not get Phillip Rivers-like numbers. If you have another option, like, say, Jameis Winston, Andy Dalton, I probably would start them. Obviously, you're starting Melvin Gordon, but I think with Melvin Gordon, you're going to have to temper expectations down as well, That's a tough defense. They're really good at home, and they're winning. They have that momentum now that they're a good football team.
They believe in themselves, yeah.
They believe in themselves now, and Baker Mayfield is turning the offense around. They're making it a lot more exciting for them to play. They're more aggressive, the high performance type offense now. So I think that game's going to be a tough game for the Chargers. For the Browns side, Jarvis Landry's he's been the guy for Baker Mayfield. He catches a lot of passes. Carlos Hyde has been on a tear. Do not like David Njoku, though. Chargers are really...
See, I do like David Njoku.
Chargers are really good.
From here on out.
Chargers are really tough defense against fantasy tight ends. They only allowed 1 or 2 touchdowns. I have the actual stat in my note bag, but it's not that big of a deal. But I don't think he's going to be ever...
I think he's going to start getting more targets from here on out. Maybe it's down this week because the Chargers have a good defense against tight ends. But I do think with Rashard Higgins going down, that opens up a few more targets there to go to Njoku, who's starting to get some more looks now in this offense with Baker taking over. So I do like Njoku to get more looks going forward. But anyways, just to speak on the game as well from my end, I think this game has potential to be high scoring. I do think the Browns play better at home, but the Chargers offense, everybody knows they're good. And then the underrated name so far in this season has been a running back 2 is Austin Eckler. Yeah.
Austin Eckler.
And honestly, if he's your running back 2 and you're playing him on a week-to-week basis, I'd line him up every week, running back 2. If you're that desperate and you need some help at running back and Eckler's on your team, have no concern playing Eckler at running back 2 rest of the season.
Yeah, he's been a really good compliment to Melvin Gordon.
Lights out.
He's a better catcher than Melvin Gordon too. So they're using him a lot more in the passing game. I like Austin Eckler a lot. Is he a every week-to-week starter? To me, I don't know. To me, that's a no. I'm not confident in him yet. But in deeper leagues, say you have 14, 15, 16 team leagues, why not start him? So
well, I'm starting him every week in a 10-team league. So
I'm playing against him this week. So usually, if a player plays against me, they're going to go off. Robbie Anderson. God, I can't stand Robbie Anderson. Player against someone last week, he gets catches for 2 touchdowns. That's so stupid. God, I can't stand Robbie
Wait
Anderson.
till we get to the Redskins game, guys.
Then we get to the Redskins game.
Also, one more thing. Squeaky wheel here. Duke Johnson voicing frustration about his role in the Cleveland Browns offense. So maybe Squeaky wheel gets a little look there. A couple more targets, more usage. Those things tend to happen from time to time. So just look out for that for Duke Johnson there. But pick him going into this game. For me, it really is a coin flip, but I'm going to go with the LA Chargers because I see them as a potential Super Bowl winning team. And if you're a Super Bowl winning team, this is a game that you need to win. So I'm picking the LA Chargers. I
have the Chargers too, but I don't think it's going to. I think it's going to be really close. I think it's going to be like a field goal, last minute field goal.
It could go.
It's either going to be low scoring or it's going to be high scoring. It's just going to be one of those games. But I think it's come down like a last second field goal.
All right, rolling into the next game here, we got a battle of 2-3 teams. The Buffalo Bills and Houston Texans.
Right.
If you thought we'd been week 6 and we'd have said both the Bills and Texans are 2-3.
Right.
Never would have believed it.
Right. But
I said, no, I think you mean 0-5 and 3-2.
Both teams are coming off winning. They're winning, and they're both playing really well right now. I like both of them. Let's talk about the Bills first. My God, LaShawn McCoy, right? So they weren't using him. They weren't using him the first 4 weeks, and they finally gave him a full complement of snaps and targets. Yet they rushed the ball a lot. He was doing what LaShawn McCoy was normally doing. So I think I want to wait on him 1 week. Obviously, I'm starting him right now because I kind of have to. My running backs are just like complete disaster. But I like to wait on him just one more week to see if that's consistent. But they seem like using him a lot. Plus, there was reports that they were going to trade him to the Eagles, and then we just got a report again saying the Bills are not going to trade him. That he's very important to the team, that they plan on using him for the future, including next year. So that right there makes it a little bit more confident that they're finally going to use him as they're supposed to, as the workhorse running back type player. So I like LaShawn McCoy a lot. This matchup, though, is really tough. Houston Texans are a great run defense. I temper expectations down in the running game for LaShawn McCoy, but I do think he has a lot of opportunities in the pass catching back for the Bills. Anything you want to add about the Bills?
No, just, LaShawn McCoy's been a little disappointing, but it seems like you said, they're starting to use him a little bit more. Wide receivers, don't even worry about it. Nobody's playing Josh Allen either.
Yeah.
And then Charles Clay, he hasn't been really getting a lot of runs.
He's battling injury too, I think.
Yeah, they've been playing this other guy. I can't even think of his name right now. Jake something. Maybe I'll look it up and figure it out. But they've been playing this backup guy more so over Charles Clay. Maybe it's because of injury. Maybe it's because he has a better rapport with Josh Allen there. But either way, this offense outside of LaShawn McCoy, I mean, if you're a decent team, you want nothing to do with it.
But for some reason, the Bills know how to win. They're just kind of winning. They're just getting those games enough to win. Talk about the Texans.
I do think their defense is a little bit underrated. I think the Bills' defense is actually pretty solid. They're not great, but they're a pretty solid defense. They're not just a pushover.
Let's talk about the Texans. So, another what the? I could be like Deshaun Watson. What are you doing taking all those hits, man? God, Jesus.
You're a running quarterback.
I was watching that game. I'm like, damn, that's a broken rib. No, that's a broken rib. Okay, that's definitely a broken rib. Gee, that guy was taking hits. And he goes in, he's on the injury report. Chest concerns. He's questionable. He is playing, though. But that worries me as just the safety of the Texans organization. Look, franchise quarterback, you got to limit him to go out of bounds, take the slide. But he'll take way too many hits in that game. Way too many for John Watson. But I like him a lot in this game. I think he has every opportunity. He's been on a tear. He's been playing really well. DeAndre Hopkins, to me, wide receiver number one this week. He's been up there. Underrated wide receiver, Matt. No one gives DeAndre Hopkins enough credit for what he's done in his career. Hasn't been injured. He's been consistent with all the quarterbacks he had to play with.
Outside of Brock Osweiler. The only one.
Yeah. But let's talk about Kiki. Kiki
Kuti.
He's a sneaky star right here, I think. Will Fuller is going. His hamstring's been bugging him. He's going to play, but look, they're really trying to give Kiki the ball. They realize he's a type of playmaker. I think, and Deshaun Watson seems to like him a lot. So I like Kiki a lot. But let's talk about the running backs, Scott. If you want to talk about the receivers, but let's talk about the running back. I want to talk about the running backs in a second.
Yeah, I like Will Fuller, but his hamstring's been giving himself a problem. So he's kind of been unreliable with that injury. If you have a good feeling about it, and he's going to be playing, then absolutely roll Will Fuller out there. He seems to score a touchdown every week he plays with Deshaun Watson. It's just a matter of getting him on the field.
A touchdown machine.
And Kuti has been a target monster the last couple of weeks, so definitely worth a speculative add in deep leagues to see if this continues. But yeah, going into the running backs, one more week, and you get your Deonta Foreman back.
He's not active this week? Oh, it's week 6.
He's got week 6, week 7, he can be activated. But one more week, and we'll find out if Deonta Foreman can come back for you.
I'm expecting his Achilles, he's going to lose a lot of his explosiveness, but that running, like the Texans running back need help. Alfred Blue did a pretty good job filling in for Lamar Miller, but Deonta Foreman, before he got injured, he was just gave that spark. I invested a conditional draft pick on him, and hopefully it pays off, and I took a chance. I'm a risk taker. I took a chance on an injured player. Let's hope it pays off. I wouldn't be surprised if they kind of use him right away because the running game is kind of really pitiful right now. So,
yeah. Another thing, I don't feel like they're using Lamar Miller to the best of their abilities. I feel like they're trying to use him more as a running back, as
he's a pretty good catcher.
back. But he needs to be kind of like the whole David Johnson thing. He needs to be out in the space a little bit more. He needs to be used as a pass catcher a little bit more. maybe instead of giving him 20, 22 carries, you only give him 15, but you also target him 5 to 7 more times out into the flat or down the field a little bit as a receiver from the running back position. And that I think would help that running back produce in fantasy, but also help the team, the Texans as a whole, move the ball down the field. So
I have Lamar Miller benching him this week, starting 2 other running backs, but I'm disappointed in Lamar Miller. I agree with you. They need to use him a lot more because he was starting out pretty hot in the first couple weeks, and then just kind of go downhill. They kind of it seems like when
blew in a lot.
It seems like when game strip changes, they kind of just get rid of him. Like, I understand, like, okay, you may have to throw the ball, but the guy's been proven to be a reliable receiver over his career. So
I would say a better receiver than a runner.
Yeah,
they're continuing to use him as a runner. It's just strange usage, I think, for Lamar Miller, and same thing for David Johnson.
I know you didn't talk about Dante Foreman last week in the players to watch, but how do you?
No, I agree.
What is your view on Dante Foreman?
In Dynasty, I think you could probably get him for a third these days. Obviously not in our league, not from you, but from other owners and other things, I think a third
do you think
probably get him, and I'd be going after him. I think he has the most upside among the running backs there in Houston. It is a good offense. He's got tied to a good quarterback. The offensive line is a slight concern. They're not a road grading type offensive line, but I don't think they're going to be just completely inept. I do have concerns just a little bit about his explosiveness, like you said, coming back off the Achilles injury. A lot of times players aren't the same when they come back.
So it's going to given that his explosiveness won't be there, but I don't think it's going to be that dramatic. I think he's still going to be fast. Let's say instead of 4.5, maybe 4.6.
Yeah, but they need something from that running back position. They're just not getting it from the guys they currently have.
Yeah.
So with that being said, I do think they're going to give Deonta Foreman a lot of opportunity to come and win this job back when he does get on the field.
I think he eventually will win the job back. It just matter of when. But if you pick up Dante Foreman, if he's available.
Even in redraft, if you need some help at running back and you got a spot that you can burn, I think it's worth a speculative ad. I'd probably do it after this week. Are they on bye next week?
I don't think so.
Okay. Maybe you need to get out ahead of it before the game starts. Go ahead and pick up Deonta Foreman. If you just have the roster spot, just pick him up. That way you don't got to burn waiver wire priority or potentially lose him to the waiver wire with other people, going and picking him up. I think that's a pretty decent ad there.
Yeah. I just need one of my players to do. Like, come on, I take chances on people. They're not doing anything. I just have bad luck.
Yeah.
Bad luck.
All right. So let's pick them. Houston for me.
Houston for me.
Okay, that's a pretty easy pick, I think. Next game we got Chicago at Miami. If you have the Chicago's defense, start them.
If you have Miami's defense, start them.
Yeah, Miami's defense has been really good this year. Super underrated.
Super good at home.
Yeah.
Xavier Howard.
Yep.
I think he's a stud cornerback. He's been like a shutdown cornerback. That being said, I'm benching Allen Robinson. I am not starting Allen Robinson.
Yeah.
Plus, he's not doing what we thought he was going to do. And plus, Xavier Howard's going to be shadowing him like butter on toast. Okay, guys? Do not start Allen Robinson. I actually have Miami Dolphins win this game. It's kind of one of my upsets of the week. And I don't think it's going to be close. I think Miami will win this game by a couple touchdowns.
I can see the game going that way. I want to pick Chicago just because I think their defense is that good that they could win the game. And they're coming off the bye, too, so they have more time to prepare, so they better go win this game. But I can see Miami winning this, too. They started 3-0, dropped the last 2. There's going to be a bounce back there for Miami. And they're a good team. I don't know if they're a playoff team, but they're a good team. Ryan Tannehill, he's been playing pretty well.
He's a very unsexy fantasy player, but he gets the job done kind of.
Right.
Kind of just kind of sneakily gets you points, and especially on bye weeks, I wouldn't mind starting him just to fill your need. But let's talk about the receivers of Miami. Look, it's been kind of up and down for the receivers. It was supposed to be Kenny Stills.
Kenny Stills has been the best receiver, but then they don't give him the usage.
And they're supposed to
need.
Devontae
Parker's been injured. He played one game so far this year. He's continually
and their best
injured.
probably player on that team. They don't give him enough chances. Kenny Drake.
Yep,
so
sitting there playing Frank Gore too much.
He had a 70-yard touchdown catch last week. He had only 7 touches, but one of them was a huge run. That Miami offense in terms of fantasy, just like kind of like upsets me because there's the players that
it's frustrating because you see the talent with Drake, but they don't give him the usage. You see the talent that Kenny Stills has, but they don't give him the targets. They're targeting Albert Wilson the most.
Yeah,
and Tannehill's more of a dink and dunker. He's not somewhat. He's in the Alex Smith mode. He kind of likes to throw it close to the line of scrimmage. He doesn't take too many deep shots, and when he does take deep shots, he's super inaccurate with them.
This is really frustrating. Really frustrating. But on the other side, there's another frustrating situation on the other side in the Bears. Let's talk about the running backs, okay?
Yeah.
Jordan Howard is supposed to be the guy. Like he was the guy in the first couple of weeks. And Tariq Cohen kind of like is like that the thorn to his side.
Limiting his upside.
Reports came out that it's going to be game strip type in terms of the running backs. That scares me. I don't want to have to guess which running back's going to do what they're supposed to do. So, Scott, what's your thoughts on Jordan Howard and Tariq Cohen?
Yeah, it's a pain-in-the-butt situation to manage. So the way I look at it is if you expect the game to be high-scoring, go Tariq Cohen. If you expect it to be low-scoring, go Jordan Howard. I wouldn't be surprised if they address the running back position in the next upcoming offseason. So Jordan Howard, for me, for long-term dynasty prospect asset, I don't believe is sturdy. I would try to get out on him if I could in Dynasty. But for redraft, you kind of got to use him. You spend pretty good high capital on him. So Jordan Howard, you probably are playing week to week. But
you still high on Jordan Howard right now?
I would. I'd sell high in redraft and Dynasty. I'd sell high and try to move to somewhere, a backfield where
what you try to get for Jordan Howard? Second rounder, or maybe just like a play that
I think you can get a first round for Jordan Howard.
Really?
Yeah, I think you could. Corey, what we call him, the Fantasy Rafi, Dynasty Rafi, however you want to call it. He actually traded and acquired Jordan Howard this week. He gave up Derrick Henry in a first for Howard and Cohen.
This is another league?
It's another league. It's in a Dynasty league, which I was like, I don't know why he did that, but okay. I get it. He was thinking he wanted to try to win for this season, so he figured that would
he wants to win for that season in that league, but the league that he says he cares about more, he doesn't. It's kind of like, what's going on here? It's like it's global warming happening. What's going on? Poles shifted? What?
And the team he had in our league was far significantly better than the team he has over there.
That's a what the.
Yeah.
But
so, anyways, I did. Derrick Henry in a first for basically Jordan Howard and Tariq Cohen.
Yeah, that's
I'd take the Henry.
He got a first round pick, and then he's getting a running back who is not doing good right now, but has every opportunity. If
he has upside, he's shown he can play. He
just needs that workhorse role, and
Derrick Henry. That's what I think is part of his problem is he's not good.
He's a volume runner,
right?
Like he gets better once he gets more carries,
right?
So he needs like those 15, 16, 17 carries for him to really get that big one explosion. He's like that big back. He likes to beat you up and then finally break you.
Yeah,
and he's not doing that right now with the Titans. Deion Lewis is out touching him. It's not even close.
Right. So, anyways, anything you want to add to Chicago? I do agree. Allen Robinson's been disappointing. Mm-hmm. I'm starting Trey Burton. I really like Trey Burton.
I do
on an every week basis.
I do want to watch Trubisky. Not for like fantasy purposes. I just want to see if he can keep up the performance.
How does he come off of that 6 touchdowns?
Does he go back to the Trubisky where he only is getting 1 touchdown and that's it? Or does he take that next step, kind of like what Jared Goff is doing, taking that next step, becoming that next tier quarterback? That's something I'm looking forward to in this game. Excited. It's really exciting just to see all these young quarterbacks kind of like performing well. Like, look, Tom Brady, Aaron Rodgers, Drew Brees, they're on their last end of their career. Okay, maybe not Aaron Rodgers, but definitely Drew Brees and Tom Brady. They're on their last end of their career, so it's kind of exciting to see all these young quarterbacks, Josh Rosen, Josh Allen, Mitchell Trubisky, Jared Goff, just kind of like, you can see like the next era of passing games kind of like happening. So I want to see how Trubisky does in this game. It's really exciting. But I have Miami winning this game. I think it's going to be an upset this week.
And I'm going to go with Chicago. They're on the road off the bye. Arizona at Minnesota. I think the Vikings defense could wreck Josh Rosen in this game. I'm not expecting much from David Johnson this week. So I temper my expectations with him. Hopefully they get him working in the passing game, but I have no confidence in that whatsoever. And then the receivers, I mean, Larry Fitzgerald hasn't done much. Christian Kirk has flashed a little bit, but not a whole, still the upside there at the receiver position for Arizona is capped. But Josh Rosen, he has looked nice. Hopefully he can continue his development here, but I think Minnesota will win this game and ultimately run away with it. I think they've been playing a bunch of close games, hard-fought games, high-scoring games. I think this is the one where they finally just take control, blow out the other team, and coast in the second half.
Speaking of this, I'm going to talk about the Cardinals first, okay? Larry Fitzgerald from Minnesota. That being said, I'm not surprised if he blows out this week. Just saying, people that play in their home state typically blow out. That's usually what happens. Okay? But sneaky play, Ricky Seals-Jones. Vikings are very vulnerable against the tight ends. I think he can get that one touchdown, maybe have like 4 or 5 catches for maybe 55, 60 yards, have that one touchdown. They're going to have to throw the ball. Vikings defense isn't the Vikings defense as we thought they were going to be. They've been very vulnerable.
They haven't played like it.
So I wouldn't be surprised if I do agree with Scott that the Vikings will win this quite easily, but I'm not going to be surprised if Arizona scores 21, 24 points. They're going to get touchdowns, I think. Like Ricky Seals-Jones a lot in this game. Larry Fitzgerald, he's been having a down year, but playing in his home state, I think he's going to explode. The Vikings. Dalvin Cook is playing.
On a pitch count. 20 to 25 snaps. So ask yourself, do you feel lucky? Do you play him? Do you not? I'm worried. Look, his hamstring is injured, and plus it's a passing team now. It's a passing team. Do they run the ball? No, he does catch the ball, but it's Kirk Cousins' team. And speaking of Kirk Cousins, I kind of want you to just compliment him because you're like, oh, he's not going to be the guy, and he's 20 yards behind Jared Goff. So the defense hasn't lived up to the expectations that everybody thought they were, including me.
He tries to turn it around again. He tries to turn it around again. Give him the man some dues.
Hey, they signed him to beat Philadelphia, and he went and beat Philadelphia last week. So he did his job.
Kirk Cousins, you're the man, dude. You're the man.
He earned his paycheck last week.
He is 20 yards or so behind Jared Goff for the leader in passing yards this season. So, guy's throwing a lot of yards. He's getting a lot of touchdowns. The one thing that was kind of the only negative to Kirk Cousins was the interceptions, and his interceptions have only been 2, and those interceptions were bad drops with receivers.
Laquan Tread will have one go right between his hands off the space pass against the linebacker's hands.
But I love Kirk Cousins this week. It seems like this offense is a passing offense. You have those great weapons in Thielen. By the way, first player to have 5 straight 100-yard receiving games. That blows my mind. Isn't that a cool stat? Undrafted guy, walks on. What?
I just never liked Adam Thielen.
What?
I don't know.
You should like him. He's a white. He is white. Wide receiver that's not on the Patriots that does something good? Come on, man. Come on. But you have all those weapons on this team. I like him. Kyle Rudolph I like even more. I think he's a sneaky start this week as well. Arizona Cardinals have been tough against the tight ends, but Kirk Cousins looked for Kyle Rudolph in the red zone. I think they're going to move the ball quite easily, give him some chances to catch the ball.
All right, so you got one in this game.
Minnesota Vikings.
Minnesota Vikings for me. Indy at New York Jets.
Indianapolis.
Looks like the only man standing there. Everybody's going down. T.Y. Hilton's down. Jack Doyle's out for the 4th straight game.
Eric Ebron broke out.
Yep, Ebron. Start him, I think he's top 5 tight end every week that Jack Doyle misses. Ebron top 5 tight end.
Chester Rogers, guys. Let's talk about Chester Rogers.
Chester Rogers is de facto number 1 receiver there.
He had 8 catches for 64 yards, and then that Thursday night game against the Patriots, he's been really well.
Yep. With T.Y. Hilton out, if you need a spot start at wide receiver, Chester Rogers is the guy to go to. Plenty of targets, good offense. They're going to move the ball through the air. They can't run the ball. There's plenty, 5 weeks evidence that they can't run the ball, so they're going to be moving it through the air. Naheem Hines at running back, he's been
probably the best.
Yeah, probably the best.
The disaster that is
mostly at receiving.
Disaster that is that running back, Frank Wright's running back situation. So Marlon Mack, he had a full practice in Friday. Hamstring seems to be fully healthy. He's going to play, I think.
Yeah, until he injures his hamstring in pregame warm-ups.
My boy Jordan Wilkins has been doing his thing, but he's getting overshadowed by Naheem Hines.
Robert Turbin is back from suspension too, so he'll be mixed in. It's literally it's just a muddy mess. I wouldn't be playing anybody. Naheem Hines is
only because of the catching.
Stash. Yep, because of the catching. But with Marlon Mack coming back, that could take away from Naheem Hines' opportunities to catch too. So just monitor the situation this week. I wouldn't play a single Colts running back this week, just because Naheem Hines is the top one that I'd consider. But with Marlon Mack coming back, we haven't seen what Marlon Mack does in that offense. So I'd stay away from playing.
It's a scary situation. Scary situation.
And then going to the Jets, damn, they look good last week. Isaiah Crowell over 200 yards rushing.
He's not playing.
No, he is playing.
He is?
Yeah, it came out. He's going to be playing. He's expected to play.
Well, I don't.
Yeah,
okay.
We'll see what the workload is. It's probably a mixture of him and Powell.
Powell looked good too, man.
Powell probably gets most of the carries there. The Colts defense, injuries all over the place too. So I mean, they came in one of the better run defenses, front sevens, but they're injured here pretty significantly now. So I expect the Jets to be able to move the ball. Robbie Anderson, like you said.
Oh, I can't stand Robbie Anderson.
Getting those two deep.
Why do players that don't perform go off when I play against them? It does not make sense.
It just happens. Like,
what the heck did I do, fantasy gods? Come on. Seriously.
So, I expect this game to be a fairly high scoring.
3 catches for 2 touchdowns. 3 catches for 2 touchdowns.
What the?
Mason Crosby has 5 kicks. And Jordan Reed only gets 2 targets.
Hey, whoa. We'll get to Jordan Reed when we get to Jordan Reed.
Okay, Jesus. All right, but taking out the Jets. Sam Donald.
Sam Bradford.
Thank you. USC quarterback finally might be doing something. Yes, get that stigma done. I like it. But love the running backs. Isaiah Crowell and Bilal Powell are both in that offense as a really good, valuable fantasy options. To me, Quincy Enunwa is the only Jets wide receiver that I feel comfortable starting. Robbie Anderson is going to have those games where he gets those 2 touchdowns, but he's going to also have those games like he had last 3 weeks where he just doesn't do anything. Yeah. So I'm not really excited about Robbie Anderson, but for the Jets, it's exciting. New York Jets haven't been good in forever. So that being said, I do have those Colts winning this game.
Yeah, I'll take the Colts to win this game too. Andrew Luck has been really good this year. Just hasn't gotten the wins or anything, but I think he's looked really well.
His team is not there. It's a shame on the organization. You have that franchise quarterback, you're not building around him. So,
yep. All right, Matt. Washington Redskins.
What are you doing? 2 targets? 2 targets? I needed 6 points in a tight end Premier League, and I don't win because of 2 targets. The man averaged 7 targets. In the last 3 games, he got double-digit fantasy points. In the last 3 games, he gets 2.5 or 3 points. Are you serious? What are you doing, Alex Smith? You're trash. Man, you're garbage.
Don't forget, too, they're down by like 20 or 30 points.
And we still don't play him.
Fast.
and he's only playing on 3rd down? What the F? What the F is going on? Who is Harris?
Dwayne Harris.
Who is Harris? Tell me who is Harris? Jesus. Gosh. Jamison Crowder's out. Chris Thompson's out. So if Jordan Reed doesn't get at least 7 targets, I'm flipping shit. I am flipping shit. Jesus. I needed 6 points. I needed 6 points, man. I lost to a guy that's trying to tank. Do you know how bad that is? Okay, Jesus Christ. 6 points. Mason Crosby. I'm talking about the Packers. I'm going to get on you next, Mason Crosby.
Yeah, we'll get to Mason Crosby. It was the Adrian Peterson revenge game.
Apparently he wasn't because he did shit. But speaking about the Redskins, Jamison Crowder's out. Chris Thompson's out. So those targets I expect to go more towards Reed, Harris, even though I don't know who he is, probably can get some love.
Paul Richardson is probably the wide receiver 1 now. I think Josh Stockton will be healthy and playing in this week too, so maybe Harris. Your Harris. Why don't you pick up Harris? You can pick up Harris.
I don't like Harris. That's stupid.
You don't get out of the field as much.
No, I pick him up, he's not going to do anything. That's usually how it works.
So, anyways, that's where the Redskins are.
But I do want to mention Kabri Bibbs.
Yeah.
Traumatic upside.
Yep.
Now,
take a shot on him, pick him up.
Adrian Peterson is playing, but he is battling
separated
injury.
shoulder.
Chris Thompson's not going to be there, so
Chris Thompson's not playing.
No.
So Capri Bibbs, absolutely worth an ad here.
You know what? My glory pick of the week. He's getting a touchdown. Bibbs is getting a touchdown this week.
There you go. I approve of that glory pick.
Found it. Firework.
All right, on to Carolina. First off, Cam. Nobody's really talking about Cam this year. He's been really almost underrated, but playing just fantastic every week. So Cam Newton, he's an every week auto start for me at quarterback this year. He might even be an MVP candidate if he continues playing like this. Just nobody's talking about him because we're all focused on Pat Mahomes, who we'll get into later. The running game there, Christian McCaffrey pretty much dominates it.
I'm sorry, Chris McCaffrey, for talking shit about you earlier.
He's a really, really fine player there. Greg Olson's coming back this week, but if we go back to last year when he came back, he hurt his foot and he left you a dud there in his first game back.
Don't start him.
Yeah, so I wouldn't start him either.
I wouldn't be surprised he'd be more of a decoy.
Right, I'd wait to play him in the following week. For receivers there in Carolina, Funchess, he's still the number 1 there.
I think with Golson, though, it kind of tanks his stock a little bit.
A little bit, but if we're both agreeing that we think Olsen isn't in for a big game here, that we think his usage might be limited a little bit, I do think that creates one more game for Funchess before ultimately he'll come back to earth a little bit. And he really hasn't dominated this year the way that he did last year when Olsen was out. But outside of that, I don't really know who else has been playing well at receiver for them. Jarius Wright, maybe.
Yeah.
So just kind of meh. They do it mostly through the running. Really, Christian McCaffrey.
It's pretty much Christian McCaffrey's our offense.
Yeah. Really dominating it for him.
He's doing a good job.
Anything else to add in this game?
No, I mean, both of the defenses could be sneaky plays, especially Carolina's, especially with how Alex Smith played last week.
Yeah.
What's Alex Smith you're going to get? But I think that game's going to be like a 20-something point game, but I have Carolina winning that game.
Yeah, I'd take Carolina as well. I think they're going to be a playoff team this year. I think they're that good. All right, so we're done with the 1 o'clock games, going into the 4 o'clock games here. We got the LA Rams at the Denver Broncos playing in 30-degree weather in snow.
20-degree weather.
Well, it's 23, but I think it's going to heat up to 30 by the time they kick off.
Apparently, they said the light snow is going to be done by the time the game time starts.
That sucks.
But it's right now. Looking at the pictures, it's a frozen tundra right now. It's all white.
Is this the earliest we've ever seen a snow game in
October, man? That's got to hurt LA's chances, you think, right? I already had them losing this game, but they never played in snow before. I mean, Todd Gurley is supposed to be obviously the passing is probably going to go down if it's snowing conditions, you think.
You would think, right.
Yeah.
And then Gurley would feast, and Denver just gave up 200 yards rushing to Isaiah Crowell.
Yeah, so
you would think Todd Gurley would go off against them.
Obviously, you're starting Todd Gurley.
I think the Broncos at home are a little bit different. I think their defense will come in.
Altitude plays in effect.
Todd Gurley. So I'm with you. I do think the Denver Broncos find a way to pull it out. They've been a really good rushing team this year. Case Keenum just needs to limit the turnovers and complete passes.
You're a Broncos fan. What's up with the running back situation, bro? They get Royce Freeman, who's supposed to be like the guy, right? Then Phillip Lindsay's kind of like out of nowhere.
Bill Musgrave is awful at calling these plays. He's using too much running back rotation. Devontae Booker should never see the field, and he comes in on third down. So he literally gets 33% of the work. It is bogus. It is complete trash, to use the term from Flag on the Play. Shouldn't be on the field.
Till Tuesday, 6 p.m.
Yep. Now, if I were the Broncos, I think if you get Royce Freeman 22 touches, he's a stud. I think Phillip Lindsay...
But they don't give him the touches.
Right, he doesn't get
why are they so obsessed with Phillip Lindsay? The guy punched someone a couple weeks ago. I'm surprised he's still on the team.
I don't know.
John Elway don't take
I
that.
don't get it. he's a nice player. He really is a nice player, and he gets yards. He fights. He continues fighting for yards. He's a really nice player, but he is nowhere near the physical talent that Royce Freeman is. So, and Royce Freeman's averaging over 8 yards a carry, and he's just not getting the work, and it's frustrating as hell to me as a Broncos fan, because I don't believe Philip Lindsay is half as talented as Royce Freeman, but they continue giving him the work.
Let's talk about the receivers. I want to talk about a little bit of the receivers, because I think Emmanuel Sanders has been the guy. Demaryius Thomas. You tried to trade me Demaryius Thomas. Yes, so
I'm all out on Demaryius Thomas. Emmanuel Sanders is the number 1 receiver there. There's a turning of the tide there in Denver. I spoke on it last week during the audio thing that I did. But there's a turning of tide there in Denver. Before the season is over, Courtland Sutton will be playing ahead of Demaryius Thomas. Mark it. It's going to happen. So Demaryius Thomas, if you own him anywhere, try to get out on him right now. Literally right now. He just had a 20-point game.
Most in the NFL, going up against a very aggressive defense.
But he had 100 yards and a touchdown. So I'm getting out on Demaryius Thomas. I see the turning of the tide. Before the season's over, Courtland Sutton will dominate the snaps over Demaryius Thomas.
This guy tried to trade for me. I was like, wait a minute. What's going on here? Try to get my boy DeAndre Hopkins. But, okay, that's answered my question. And Mansard does look pretty good. Let's talk about the Rams. So
the Rams are the Rams. Cooper Kupp and Brandon Cooks are supposed to be playing.
Both coming back from concussions.
I'm playing them both. If you played them before,
I think the stocks are down on Cooks. Just to me, in this game, playing in snow, he's like that streaky receiver. Can Goff throw it in the snow like that far? I don't know, but kind of down on Cooks. But that being said, I'm more interested in how the defense is doing in this game. Defense of the Rams have not been what the defense that everyone thought they were going to be. And I told my buddy at work, who was a Rams fan, that once that defense becomes what they're supposed to be, they're going to be unstoppable, that team.
Right.
Greatest offense.
Well, Marcus Peters playing hurt. Talib's out on the IR right now. So,
but even though those are the corners, but the best part of that defense was supposed to be that front, that run stopping, front seven. Then you saw the Seattle Seahawks that completely run all over them. So what's going on? Aaron Donald said that they were overthinking it, that they just need to play. But Scott did mention early in the preseason that maybe the Eagles, please concern all those big name players and everything like that. But just from a football fan, I want to see how that defense does for the Rams. But I do have the Denver Broncos upsetting the Los Angeles Rams and getting their first loss.
Yep, and I agree. I think Denver's a really tough place to play. Denver's a different team. They're playing at home. And we saw how they played Kansas City just a few weeks ago. They really should have won that game. They just due to play calling, they played too conservatively there down the stretch in the fourth quarter and blew it. So this time around, I do think they find a way, and they do pull this game out at home in Denver with the weather conditions. Going in, Jacksonville at Dallas.
My team.
Yep. Dak Prescott.
Trash.
Been really underwhelming this season.
Say the next Dallas Cowboy players.
Yep. Ezekiel has
Stud.
Literally been this entire offense.
Give me another Dallas Cowboy player.
Alan Hearns.
Trash. Give me another one.
Jeff Swain.
Trash. One more. Come on.
Cole Beasley.
Trash. Give me the other guy.
Terrence Williams.
Trash. He's not even playing. He's trash too. Deontay Thomas. What is his damn name is? Trash.
Deontay Thomas.
You bench everyone besides Zeke as if you're the Cowboys, but you start their defense.
Yeah,
that's my streaming option.
100%.
Streaming defense of the week.
Top 5 defense this week.
19.5 points allowed this season. They're very underrated. They stopped the Texans 3 times in the red zone. They're very, very, very tough defense.
And what is the strength of their defense?
The strength of it?
Yes.
Jalen Smith, the linebackers.
The pass rush?
Oh, yeah. DeMarcus Lawrence, 5.5 sacks per game.
Yep.
Tied
I believe
second
the pass
behind.
rush is the strength of that defense.
And Jalen Smith is finally becoming his own. He's taking over that Sean Lee role.
Yeah.
And it seems like his explosiveness is back from when he tore his knee up in college.
The Jags are on the third string left tackle.
Yeah.
Third string left tackle.
I think DeMarcus Lawrence is going to eat.
Has never played a snap in the NFL.
He's going to eat.
They're so desperate for a tackle, they just signed Eric Flowers, who the Giants cut last week. Eric Flowers, the guy that was like a turnstile for Eli Manning there in New York.
Going to
he'll
eat.
be with the Jets.
The front seven of the Cowboys are going to eat. They're going to sack Bortles a lot. They're my streaming defense of the week. I love them defense a lot play this week. You start them, them, and Zeke. That's the only Cowboys you start. But on the Jacksonville side, look, Corey Grant, Fournette, hamstring, out. Corey Grant, Liz Frank injury, done. They signed Jamal Charles. Let's talk about Jamal Charles, Scott. Talk about him.
Don't start him, first of all.
He's going to be a change of pace role. Obviously, he knows his role, but if Yeldon goes down, okay, let's see what Jamal Charles does.
Right.
You know what I mean?
I think he's got a little bit of juice left in the tank there. I think he can supplement this offense, give TJ Yeldon a breather, and still be productive on the offensive side of the ball.
Mm-hmm.
If TJ Yeldon goes down, I think he can be productive long enough for Fournette to get healthy. There's talks that the Jaguars want to hold him through the bye week, which I believe is week 9. So
I think
through mid-November, basically for another month, they're going to be sitting.
I think the big mistake was they rushed him too fast and he re-injured it.
Yep.
But I think Corey Grant's really going to be hurting. Like that injury is going to hurt them because he was a different
dynamic.
type of.
Yep, he was one of them players. He's an electric player that can take it and make people miss. And
now, if you're basing
more yards than what's blocked,
if you're basing off workload, TJ Yeldon has a tremendous value right now in just a workload he has. But I think
he's better in the passing game than he is in the running game, which is great for fantasy.
I think the
TJ Yeldon is top 10 running back this week.
I think Cowboys are going to stuff that box and make Bortles beat them than Yeldon. I don't think they're going to have the running game do it. And as you said,
right, and I think he's going to do it in the passing game.
Yeah. We'll see. Get a couple catches, but as you said, I think the left tackle is going to be the problem, and I think he's going to get a lot of pressure. And I don't like Bortles. I know the Bortles have been inconsistent. No, he's been like that. Maybe you do a bye week filler.
He's been Bortles. Bortles going to Bortle.
Does Bortles get the New England type performance, or does he get the Kansas City type performance? We had still with the Kansas City performance. He threw for 430 yards and 1 touchdown, which is the 4 picks didn't help, but he's still a good fantasy day. But I have the Jacksonville Jaguars losing this game. I think the defense is going to hold the offense of the Jaguars. I think they're going to pressure Bortles. I think Bortles is going to make that bonehead move like a pick 6. I think it's going to be like a 10-7 game or a 7-6. It's going to be a low-scoring game for me. I think Zeke is going to surprise people in this matchup. I think he's going to find a way to break out. You know, a lot of people are expectations low against Zeke. Number 1 rated defense in Jacksonville Jaguars. I think Zeke eats this game. I think it's 100 total yards, and he gets that 1 touchdown.
I'm going to pick Jags to win this. I think the Jags defense do enough to win this game. Close game. Well, I'm thinking 17-13 maybe.
Jags did enough to do it with the Kansas City, and we saw what Bortles did. Ride or die with Bortles. You ride with 5 with flag on the play. You ride with 5. You ride the W's with 5, and you're going to ride the losers with 5.
Baltimore at Tennessee.
Baltimore, Tennessee, 4 o'clock game.
Yep. Corey Davis, just on Tennessee, is a player I'd love to play this week, but I'm not playing him against Baltimore's defense. Derrick Henry, sit him. He's borderline cut. I think I'm going to be cutting him today in the league to fill out a kicker defense in the lineup, which is a little bit disappointing for me, but you got to do what you got to do. If your guy ain't producing, he's just single digits every week. We're 5 weeks in now. He is what he is at this point for this season. So Deion Lewis, I think he'll have a nice game through the pass catching abilities that he has.
Man, Deion Lewis is pissing me off, man.
Yep. Johnny Smith, they're not getting anything out of Johnny Smith, the tight end there.
I don't play Deion Lewis, he gets 15 points per game. I play him, he gets 5 points. I don't play him, he gets like 12 points. I play him, he gets like 5 points. Now he's going to get like 13, 15 points. It's just stupid.
We'll play him.
No. But I agree with you. Deion Lewis has been outperforming Derrick Henry exponentially. It's not even close. As I said, Derrick Henry is that volume type running that he needs volume to
be the guy.
To what he does. Deion Lewis is going to be that guy. And Baltimore has been susceptible to that kind of pass catching back. They're all a tough defense though, so I am worried about Mariota. I want to see how his hand does. You know, maybe can he still grab the football? Maybe throw the ball deep. But let's talk about the Ravens.
One of the most underrated offenses in the league right now.
I mentioned this in my sit column, and it's a pretty fun stat. I'm sitting Alex Collin to a point where I think he should not even be in lineups anymore. He's getting out touched and out carried by
He keeps fumbling on the goal line.
And Buck Allen. And Buck Allen's actually been outperforming them too. And then the fundamental problem is his concern.
Yeah.
I think Javarius Allen is going to eventually be the starter of that team.
What college for Javarius Allen?
I'm not good. Give me the conference.
Pac-12. He went to his favorite school, and you don't even know whose college he went
USC, apparently. What? How did I know that? What year did he play at?
I don't know. It goes way back. But yeah, Buck Allen, I think, has been the best running back there. He takes the most of the pass catching role, and apparently he's taken over the goal line work too. So Buck Allen is a running back for me to own there.
And another Ravens player that I'm sitting.
You're not sitting John Brown, are you?
Not saying John Brown.
Okay, good. Crabtree? Yeah.
Look, Crabtree was supposed to be on that team. He was supposed to be number one. But John Brown's
taking it over.
Had like 14 targets last year. He's leading the team in targets.
Yep.
He's been the better fantasy receiver on that team.
And he has the best connection with Flacco.
And to me, Michael Crabtree's probably the third best receiver on the team. I think, what's his name, Snead is better than him at this point.
Yep, and I think they'll use the tight ends more than they'll throw the Crabtree on top
Mark
of that.
Andrew, Hayden Hurst. No, Hayden Hurst is coming back. They drafted him first. They're supposed to be that guy. I'm not liking Michael Crabtree. At this point, you try to sell as much as you can get for him.
Yep. And acquire John Brown. I still don't think people are really noticing or talking about John Brown as an every week starter, but that's where he is now. He is an every week wide receiver 2, wide receiver 3.
Like skinny receivers, like small guys. Brandon Cooks, Sean Jackson, John Brown, maybe Christian Kirk. Maybe at one point in his career, eventually he'll probably be that guy. But look, you can base a receiver or a running back or whatever on the amount of volume he's expected to get. And if a receiver can get around the 7 to 10 target range, that's great to me, man. That's a great fire for like a wide receiver 2 player. So absolutely love John Brown this week.
Yeah.
That being said,
this week and every week for me.
I believe I picked the Ravens, but let me verify that.
I'm going Baltimore too to win this game. They're probably the best 3-2 team in the league right now.
Yes, I have Baltimore winning that game.
Maybe not, because the Patriots are 3-2 and the Jags are 3-2.
Speaking of next game, will be what? The Sunday night game?
The Sunday night game, Kansas City Chiefs, New England Patriots.
Is it the highest over-under?
Must-watch game.
Is it the highest over-under this week?
I'm not sure. Must-watch game. Must-play players, Josh Gordon. Get him in your lineup. Sammy Watkins, get him in your lineup. Everybody, get him in your lineup in this game. I
think Josh Gordon is going to break out, and I can finally justify me holding him on this long.
For third season now?
Yes.
Yep. No, I
my heart can't take it all more. This the emotional roller coaster I did.
Tom Brady tweeted out this little Instagram, or not tweeted, he put this little Instagram picture up on his Instagram.
It's like this.
Of Josh Gordon.
It's like this.
Yep. Of Josh Gordon. Has Tom Brady ever done that before? I don't know. That's a very odd thing, I think, for Tom Brady to do. Get Tom Brady in your lineups, but get Josh Gordon in your lineups too.
But okay, one thing I want to talk about the New England Patriots. I said this last week in my start column for the Thursday night game. Julian Edelman makes this offense way better. You gotta look. He had 9 targets last week. He produced great. He's filling in that role. He adjusts coverage so Gronk can finally get some open. I think Julian Edelman's going to have a double-digit catch performance this week. I'm expecting that type of game for Julian Edelman. He may not get the touchdown, but 10 catches, maybe 90 yards. Look, the first drive, Tom Brady threw him in the first play, and then he got 3 catches for that first drive. It just, Tom Brady loves Julian Edelman. And you saw with Julian Edelman performing, the other players like Chris Hogan, Josh Gordon, becoming what they're supposed to be. So Julian Edelman is key. Sammy Watkins, I like him a lot, especially with DeAnthony Thomas injured. Gets more opportunity to be on the field. I'm not liking Kareem Hunt. Obviously, you're going to start him, but he's not catching the ball as much anymore. He's not that guy.
Limiting his upside there.
It's limiting his upside, but he's a rushing stud. Tyreek Hill. Look, both defenses are pretty poor. Kansas City is dead last in terms of defense. You know the Patriots are going to score points, so Kansas City is going to have to come back. I'm expecting a 42-35, 35-38 type game. Yep. It's going to be probably 70 combined points. It's going to be one of those games, high scoring. It's going to be really exciting to watch. I can't wait to watch it. That being said, start James White. He's been a beast.
James White, he's been a borderline top 10 running back this entire season.
He's been a stud. Pretty much start every play that you would normally start. There's no question about it. You start them. Love all those players this week. I do have the Patriots handling, giving the Kansas City their first loss. They're playing in Foxborough. They're coming back. They're getting better. They're
Sunday Night Football.
They're getting better. See, look, a lot of people are like, oh no, they're 2-2. We're in the September. They were 2-2 last year and they went to the Super Bowl. Like, guys, they never play good in September. I think the Patriots win this game. I think it's gonna be a close game though, like me, last second field goal. But I like Patriots a lot this week.
Yep, I agree. I'm picking the Patriots as well to win this game. Starting everybody. If you have a Patriot or Chief in your team, start them. This is going to be one of them fun games to watch.
Sony Michel too, especially.
Yep, Sony Michel. Final game of the week we'll talk about. We'll get into the Fighting Mason Crosby's here. San Francisco 49ers without Jimmy Garoppolo and several other good players and 2 running backs.
Well, they're playing Matt Breida. No, Matt Breida's doubtful actually. So Alfred Morris.
Yeah, Matt Breida got hurt.
Alfred Morris' stock's going to go a little bit up.
Raheem Morstead could get some look too. I don't know. The San Francisco 49ers is just an ugly situation to deal with now with Jimmy Garoppolo. Treat them like we treated him last year before Jimmy Garoppolo. If you have a defense, start them. Green Bay Packers defense, play them against 49ers. Clearly, we're both picking Packers to win this game, right?
Yes, but I do want to talk about the Packers.
I believe the only thing we need to talk about the Packers with is their running back situation. Is that what you want to get onto? Okay. Yes. Let's get onto this Aaron Jones v. Jamal Williams v. Ty Montgomery.
I wake up every morning. I brush my teeth. I do my hair. Put some facial cream on my face. Just clean my face up. Go get a banana. I eat it. I look at myself in the mirror while I'm eating that banana. And I just think, why the hell is Aaron Jones not the stud running back? Workhorse running back. He's been outproducing Jamal Williams, Ty Montgomery so much. And then,
well, you know what? Mike McCarthy recently answered that question for you this week.
The more that you can do than is run the ball. Shut the hell up, Mike McCarthy. No, look. Here's what I don't understand. He had 7 carries for 40 yards in the first half. He completely outworking everyone, and then didn't get one single touch in the second half. Are you shitting me? Are you shitting me? This is absurd. Absurd. Look, Aaron Rodgers even said, number 33 does something for this offense. He said, reminds me a lot like Ryan Grant. Remember when Ryan Grant was a thing?
When they won the Super Bowl?
Mike McCarthy, Jamal Williams hasn't done anything. I understand he's big and a pass catcher. Aaron Jones catches the ball too, okay? He did that in UTEP. He was a beast. Give him opportunities to run the ball. He's been proving the most explosive back. Okay? Come on. And Mason Crosby's make more kicks.
I was going to say, we haven't even got on the Mason Crosby yet.
5 kicks.
5. 4 field goals.
Kicks.
1 extra point. 5.
Jesus.
In a dome. In a dome.
If you just made one of them, I would have won. If you would have made one of them, I would have won.
The extra point?
No. If you just made one of his field goals, I would have won.
That's okay. I like it when Matt loses because I get this. It's almost better than me winning.
God! All right. Anything else you want to talk about the Packers and 49ers?
No, nothing. I don't touch any 49ers, don't play any 49ers outside of George Kittle. George Kittle is a top 3 tight end this season.
Pierre Garçon is battling injury, and C.J. Beathard,
C.J. Beathard was roommates with George Kittle in college when they played at Iowa.
And then when
that connection is still there.
C.J. Beathard last year when he played Pierre Garçon was his favorite target. So that if he does play Pierre Garçon, I do see having some sort of like flex appeal. But as I said, Scott said, don't like any of them.
George Kittle is the only one I'm playing. Alfred Morris has
that upside because of the volume he's going to expect to get with Matt Breida gone. I think he easily can get 15, 20 touches.
But if they get down real fast in this game, are they still going to be running the ball?
I think he can catch the ball, I think. But look, Green Bay's defense is not as good. It's not good. Clay Matthews probably can get a roughing passer call. No?
That looks on the drive.
Yeah. Over under on that, it's probably given, but look, they're going to have to move the ball somehow. I think Alfred Morris. He had 86 yards last week in just like garbage time. So Alfred Morris has a nice little flex appeal. That being said, that's it. Packers. Anything else you want to talk about before we kind of like close off the show? It's been a good show. 1 hour 19 minutes. 1 hour 19 minutes. Yeah, been pretty good. And do you want to say anything? You want to?
Let's see here. What do I want to say? Derrick Henry. Look for him to turn it around here. going forward. We got 11 more weeks to go for this season, so I look forward to that. And I look forward to any more losses Matt gets, especially if Jordan Reed only gets 2 targets. Mason Crosby, if you're missing 5 field goals again.
If you miss 5 field goals if you miss 5 field goals again, I'm eating peanuts.
I got a Reese's right there.
I'm fucking eating peanuts, man. Oh, God.
So, are you playing Mason Crosby this week?
Yes, I'm playing Mason Crosby.
You're playing
this
Mason
week.
Crosby?
Yes.
After he did you like that, you're going to play him again?
Yes, he's still a stud kicker. He just had a bad game, but like, whatever, man. I mean, it's a kicker too, man.
Do you have any other kicker options?
I can probably grab one in the waiver wire. Honestly, I'm not going to blame my losses on the kicker. My running backs didn't do as well as the
Hey,
last
I blame my championship loss on a kicker. Greg Zuerlein went on IR right before the championship game.
No. You should blame your job on Juju Smith-Schuster on that 90-yard touchdown catch he had in that game. That was your problem.
I blame the kicker.
Whatever makes you sleep better at night, dude. Anyways, guys, finally got the equipment I needed to do the Monday night shows. So Scott and I are probably gonna try to do a Monday fantasy kind of post review of the Sunday games. Just gonna be audio, no live show. Just gonna be audio, but we're gonna post it up Monday night. So look forward to that. Sorry about the 2-week hiatus. Scott and I went to the cabin with my girlfriend and his wife and our close friends. It's very rare we get to spend time with them,
And we lost Wi-Fi while we were there.
Lost Wi-Fi there. So it's really hard to do a show.
And Scott forgot his computer charger.
Yeah,
too.
so
he didn't tell Matt about that.
I went to Minnesota.
Wi-Fi.
Scott did the audio recording. We're going to get that uploaded as well. He had a little problem with the technical difficulty with that. But that being said, please follow us, okay? Follow us on Twitter. Follow us on Podbean, Google Play, iTunes, any other medias, TuneIn, whatever. Follow us. Please, we appreciate it. Give us a comment. Tell us what you like about the show, what we can improve on. We're for the people. We do this for you. We like doing this. We enjoy it. We appreciate the support. That being said, follow Flag on the Play. TO Tuesdays at 6 p.m. They're really good friends of us. They support us as well. We like to support them. Local podcasts. They support local podcasts. Other than that, I'm Matt Phillips with Scott Euler. I'm signing off to you, Pigskin Dynasty fam. See ya.